stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again, and then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
lot of people look at us as robots who are just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror. But that mirror's that horse. And that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. Let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar. Not what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Break them off some. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence on this 27 February in the year of our dumpster fire. I'm Aisha host, and in the gunner seat tonight, I got the Pookie. Hey, how you doing, you beautiful bearded individual? How you doing? Oh, man.
Living the life.
Living the life. Pooks joins us on this Monday edition. Oh, man. Kind of excited to, this is a weird Monday. Don't you think? I mean, kind of.
The whole weekend's been kind of funky. I mean, I don't know.
It's been, it's been weird. I don't know, of course, if you guys pay attention to the weekend news and all that. Hey, real quick, we got a guest tonight. We got Leah from Prestige Veteran Services coming on. And she's going to talk about Nexus Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. She's going to talk about Nexus letters and processes to evaluations for all that. I'm going to tell you what, I am actually kind of more than happy to have her come on due to the fact that we don't get enough of that like explanation of what veteran stuff does for paperwork processing, you know what I mean? To how to process your shit.
Oh, the bureaucratic.
Yeah, the bureaucratic stuff. So to me, when she reached out to the WTF Nation, and I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that actually is a pretty good freaking idea. But anyways, Real quick, just again, it was just over a year of the invasion of Ukraine from Ivan, and I already see comments in there.
I saw some comments.
What's up with the comments, man? I thought everybody was like kill a commie for mommy. I thought everybody wanted to fucking fight
Free
Ivan.
helicopter rides.
Free helicopter rides. I thought everybody wanted to defeat. Wasn't there some Rambo movie shit talking about Russia, and now all of a sudden y'all got fucking cold feet? I'm just saying. Yes, that was a Ukraine National Army video. I also have some. I don't want to say that it's propaganda, but hey, look, you're just looking. I'm just talk it. Just talk it out. And it's all talk. It's all it is. We're just talking. We're just talking. We're just talking. Yeah.
It's a big psyop.
I don't say psyop. Zap. And I got like psyop shit hanging behind me. Yeah. So again, I kind of want to know what all of a sudden we decided to puss the fuck out when it came to Ivan, fighting Ivan. I mean, shit. Y'all puss the fuck out so much that now Steven Seagal's a Russian. I shouldn't say that shit. I know some of our fans are pretty cool and stuff like that. I love our fans. I love our followers and all that. But I just don't get all the fucking hate and drama to Ukraine when they're fighting fucking Russia. They're fighting. Look, they're fighting Ivan. There comes the gay frogs. Hey, Pip, what's up? I'm telling you right now, all the gay frogs, WTF Nation Radio is just throwing the gay frogs at you. Zip, zip, zip. So, again, we're all happy about this, right? Oh yeah, fuck Russia. Oh yeah, did you see Rocky 4? What was it 4? Where we fight fucking Ivan Drago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rocky 3 was with Mr. T. But yeah, everyone. Rambo 3. Do I need to keep fucking beating this dead horse? Wolverines, right? You're all fucking talking about
war games,
killing commies, and all of a sudden it's going. Brrr. Is there anything cool shit in Ukraine worth the investment? I don't fucking know. Is there? I don't know. All I know is that our generations long, decades long adversary has decided to fucking dry hump and fucking attack a fucking country that claiming back to whatever and also the shit that the last time I checked there was some sort of agreement that if
we had an agreement with Ukraine back in what was it, right after the collapse of the Soviet Union. We made an agreement, give us your nukes, we'll defend you.
Give up the nukes and we'll defend you. And then here next we're like, oh, Ukraine's like, okay. Just kind of like how we did Libya. Libya was the same way, right? Hey, just give up your weapons of mass destruction. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you're good.
So what's that? Cut DOD funding. No more of our soldiers' pensions. Inflation through the roof. Wait, what do you mean? No more of our soldiers' funding? What's going on with it? Whoa. Okay. Ukraine.
I kind of get where a lot of these people are coming at. The money that's just flying over there. I mean, we can send equipment all day, but the money, man, we need some receipts on that money.
I agree. I think the receipts should be shown of where the money's going and what's going to. I wholeheartedly, totally support all of our old shit going to them. I mean, fuck, we do it to the Marines, right? I mean,
well, the Marines aren't even allowed to have it anymore, from what apparently.
The Marines are like, this is too new. This shit's too new.
Yeah,
you can't give it to us. So.
No more scout snipers in the Marines.
No more scout snipers. Yeah, this is the whole thing. We can't go killing now. Lethality.
No more tanks.
No more tanks. Yeah, lethality is too. It's too fucking. It's not politically correct to go killing. They can go to Afghanistan to get all of our old equipment. Again, I'm seeing this generational, man. I've the whole time. This is payback for Russia fucking scaring me. That's what you get, Russia, for making me hide under my desk during my fucking school years.
Every Thursday in my hometown, we would have a freaking siren that would go up. Woo, and everyone do little, what do they call it? Civil Defense Corps thing. Go run, hide somewhere.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like
hide under your desk.
Yeah,
cover your head.
A blue circle with a red triangle, and I had a CD in there. Civil defense stuff. So I y'all can. I don't get me wrong, and no, you're not going to get banned. Who the fuck? Why would you ban? Why would you get banned for posting your comment in there? You could say you don't support, sending money to Ukraine, just like I could say I support sending fucking equipment to Ukraine to have Ivan get the ass beat.
Phil's right though. If you want to make some money, invest into some Lockheed, because that's probably a good thing to write about now.
Stonks.
That's how you support the anti-Russian movement, is invest in
some defense stonks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get you get some again. Everyone's gonna be like, why didn't we just take this opportunity? History will tell you. History will say that look, Ivan is going to be in every war we've been involved in, and we always have movies and fucking our own propaganda and our own media talking about how we should defeat that, we should crush Russia, we'll crush them, we're better than them, communism, blah 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 blah, right? Then all of a sudden Ukraine happens. As a matter of fact, for all the critics, I'm even gonna piss off the Ivan Simps even more. I'm not saying anybody in the comments are Ivan Simps, but this Thursday for Sergeant's Time, I'm gonna have Natalia Antonova come back. The Ukrainian American journalist is gonna give us an update. And
that'd be dope.
Yeah, so she's gonna give us, and she's also gonna reveal and break some news of her own as well in the fight against Ivan. So again, you could say all the fuck. You know what? It makes me mad. There're just some things that I wish I could fucking do. And if the VA and all that other stuff said, hey, you take some volunteers to go Slava Ukraini, do it.
I said this at the beginning of the whole Ukraine conflict, Russia-Ukraine conflict, is the United States steamrolled Moscow when they were all under kerfuffle trying to get into Ukraine.
Yeah,
through Poland. We could have done it. Yep. Oh, guess what?
Right.
As
a matter of fact, I think not only do I think we could have done it, but I also think that we could have. Nobody would have been able to fucking stop us. You know what I mean?
Who? China? Taiwan? West Taiwan?
West Taiwan, yeah. China's all butthurt because they want to. I will sit here and bash Russia all day fucking long. When you sit there and look at the wars that we were involved with Vietnam, Korea, all this other shit, and then again, everyone's stroking themselves. Oh yeah, Red Dawn, let's kill a commie for mommy. Oh, Ronnie Reagan. And the next thing you know, then all of a sudden some opportunity happens like this. Opportunity like this to fucking waylay some Ivan, and all of a sudden people got cold fucking feet. Quite a fucking shift.
Yes, just West Taiwan asshole.
Yeah, West Taiwan is asshole. West Taiwan is asshole. West Taiwan is China. We always say that. And, what's this right here? We have some. Anyway, I gotta mow me some fucking lawns. My war is at home, so keep the powder dry. Don't let the CNN dents. The cunts. I guess you're supposed to say take your second. You could cuss. We don't. Our anti-profanity filter is not on. We don't have. You can cuss all you want.
As long as you don't say certain things.
Yeah, as long as you say certain things, that'll get auto hidden. But anyways, don't let the cunts take your Second Amendment rights. That's right.
There you go. Keep them guns.
Yeah, keep them. Keep it. Is that a New Zealand or Australian flag right there? I see there.
Okay, it says NZHM.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. That's right. I love how Germany broke their anti-cheese law because of this. I mean, how fucked do we gotta be to piss off a country that bad? Dude, Challenger tanks. Leopard tanks, Abrams tanks.
Didn't Japan just recently change their freaking constitution to allow them to have a fucking standing military?
Yeah. Japan's saying, fuck this, we're getting this game too. But you want to give Ukraine some shit. Mike says, we don't have cold feet. It's not our war. America needs to take care of Americans for once. I agree with that, but for some reason, our government can't multitask.
No, they can't.
We can't multitask for shit, and that's my biggest beef. We can do all of this stuff. We can support Ukraine, take care of the fucking home front. However, have you seen our fucking infrastructure and shit? Did you know that? I'm just telling you right now that our railroads suck. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Have you seen the roads?
Have you seen the roads lately? Yeah. Have you seen our infrastructure, bridges, railroad? I mean, oh my God. Ron says, fuck disabled children. Why? Whoa, why would you say that, dude? Why? Whoa, what's going on? What's going on?
There's no filter.
There's no filter, man. You can say whatever you want. So
I don't know why. Why did you say that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I think he was just testing. To see if there was. You better go ahead and delete that comment there, Ron, because people are going to be like, "Oh, just a test." Okay, gotcha.
You might, delete that before people.
You might then delete that before we get something from fucking the FBI or some shit. Is there a Ron in here? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know. Did he say that?
Did he?
But so Pete Buttigieg. I was like practicing my fucking way to say this name.
Butt plug.
Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg.
Pete butt plug.
Why?
I'm just saying that's what I heard on.
That's what you heard. That's what you're calling. Everyone's calling him Pete butt plug.
That's what I was calling a bug plug. Yeah, that's not me. That's just what I've heard.
But Pete, I see all the comments in it now. As soon as I said Pete butt chug. That's another one I heard.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you call him names all you want, but I'm gonna tell you what. I fucking not seen him around and doing stuff in East Palestine, Ohio, and you're kind of like, you now decided to show up. It's like 2 weeks.
There's only one reason why all these people started showing up. I hate to say it.
Do you want to say it? Let's say it together. Oh no, you go ahead and say it. I know why. Go ahead.
Because old D Treasy decided, hey, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna bring me some water bottles and some food, since no one else decided to show up, and now everyone and their mom has to be up on this shit because, oh shit, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Donald Trump got the jump on us.
Yeah, now D Treasy not only showed up, but he bought pallets of water, and then he bought like all the first responders, like fucking McDonald's and Big Macs. He like basically walked into a Mickey D's and decided to buy everybody's show. Cost says he had a pretty fresh and snappy road guard vest, so and a hard hat. So.
Oh, that makes you
official.
You are a transportation official if you wear a road guard. Oh man, I'm a transportation official.
You got a road guard vest?
I wore a helmet and a road guard vest and had some weird shiny things that I used.
I got a pizza belt in here somewhere. I think I got it. That'll make me official.
I'm a more qualified. I've got more experience.
So my biggest thing is that it shouldn't have taken somebody who is obviously a political troll. D Treasy, he's a political troll. Just as fucking call.
That's 100%.
Not only is he a political troll, but use this to take advantage of his to push his clout, and that right there in itself. Do I think that it's fucking hilarious? Actually, I take that back. I think it's freaking hilarious. I just think it's freaking. I think it's funny.
The other side walked into it. They just kind of accepted it by not saying anything about this, letting it go. And the internet. I mean, I can read Twitter. I'm very good at reading Twitter. Twitter was like, oh, where's the politicians at? Where's the politicians at? And the first one to show up, who was it?
D Treasy. It was D Treasy. Now here's my thing too, is that how do I say this? How could you not expect some fucking serious blowback like this when a guy who's you just done impeached twice, the shit posted all over him, banned him from fucking everything, and then he shows up just to totally fucking just show off and throw the clout out and say, hey, look, I'm here. And I'm giving you all water, and I'm giving you all this stuff, and I'm giving you, again, I keep saying presence is influence. If you are a president, if you just have to fucking show. Everyone's like, well, what is Major Pete gonna do? Well, what is the president gonna do? Motherfucker, just show up. Don't tell me about all your stories in Scranton, and don't tell me about all your stories about Corn Pop. Be there, be the fucking story. Show the fuck up. Be there. You know what I mean? Just show up. But no, of course, I'm being too partisan if I say that, or I'm too. Is that too? I'm not giving him the fair shake or something like that.
It's like the president's playing Minecraft. It's like the greatest thing I've seen on the internet.
Dude, that thing is fucking hilarious. We'll look find it here. Maybe we could find it for.
The presidents go to the medieval fair.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Whoever's behind that is a fucking genius.
Yeah, well, it's just so dangerous with AI. Now, look, I like AI. I mean, me and CQ were talking about some stuff for AI, and we're gonna do an AI. You're not gonna know what it is. We'll let you know afterwards. But there's something that's gonna be planned for WTF
it's called
moments.
Deepfake. A deepfake.
It's gonna be like a deep fake, but you'll see. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. So, and I've already revealed too much, but some of the thing that really pisses me off about all this is that the political back and forth of who should have been there or who should not been there shouldn't have been discussion. Fuckers should have just shown up. This should just, as a matter of fact,
I think you said that on Friday.
Yeah, it should have just been just showing up. It should have been Buttigieg. Hell, I don't give a fuck if it was Buttigieg, Trump, the old W. You know, hey, I'm here, fuckers. What do y'all need? You know, or something like that. It could have been a joint, nonpartisan, fucking event with former past presidents, just like when Barack Obama, W, and Clinton did the fucking COVID vax thing. And they were talking about, you should get the vax and you should get it. And then W is like, it's important. You know, blah, 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 blah. And then Obama comes on and speaks. Yeah, 3 individuals just coming up there. But instead, no.
It just makes sense. I mean, that hurts. That hurts the American people, too. Just by seeing how, like they were ignored for, 3 weeks. All of a sudden, now everyone cares about it. And
well, I mean, now look at it now, dude. Fucking, dude, the damage is done.
It's too late. It's like that's like the Katrina thing, where Katrina happened for so freaking long. All of a sudden now we got to get involved.
Exactly. But the damage is done now because now everyone saw what happened. Everyone saw that the president did not go to East Palestine or East Palestine. I know. I gotta keep saying
Palestine.
I keep saying
Palestine.
Yeah. Sorry. So
Creek. Holla, no, whatever.
Creek, yeah, holla. But again, I it looked bad because he went to Ukraine. He didn't go to East Palestine. He went to Ukraine.
On President's Day of all weird days.
On President's Day. Not only that, but he could have he could have really showed up and say, hey, look, he could have, like I said, going back to the multitasking. Going back to the multitasking, he should have shown up to fucking East Palestine. He should have had some C-17s. Come on, man. These guys like to all pomp and circumstances and like to show off, saying, ever notice that the president likes to tweet when he's talking? That's why I always laugh every time I see that whoever handles his social media accounts. But he could have visited fucking East Palestine and then jumped on a fucking plane, stopped off to fucking hang out with fucking Zelensky, and then came back. And he should have hey guys, I'm going to drop the mic. I'm bringing some fucking C-17s full of water. Bam. Also activated a National Guard unit. MREs. Yeah,
exactly.
As a matter of fact, this could have been the most awesome opportunity to provide a med cap. To do a giant fucking med cap and bring some fucking, bring the water boys from San Diego. Was it from in the Army now? Bring them for helping out to, to purify the water. This could have been a big this whole fucking thing.
But I just hate to say it. It's not just Americans seeing this, though. It's the rest of the world watching this shit, too. That's the sad part about it.
Exactly. Not only is it the rest of the how do I say this? The rest of the world is seeing this, but they're using that to their advantage for their own fucking propaganda. See?
Oh yeah.
Your own president didn't even show up to your country when this shit was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Your own president didn't do this to do that. And that's what's going to sow, like I said, that fucking division right there of that. He could have fucking done this. It'd have been an easy ratings / approval poll win. And it'd have been good. Everyone would have been like, oh, the president. Because I'll be honest with you, aside, what the fuck did I miss? Ohio, the topic? Huh? What? No, we're still talking about it. We're still talking about Ohio, the topic. I don't like the way he does his public speaking. He'll do an interview with news agencies and stuff like that, or he'll come out,
just walk the fuck away.
Yeah. He'll go. You guys understand? It's almost like, and this not. I'm just imitating how he would act, but he's never said this. But I just want you guys to know I'm doing this, and this, and then I'm gonna do that. And then if someone questions him, he'll go, because I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and come on, man,
because we're American.
Because we're Americans, yeah. And then the next, you know,
I'm corn pop.
And then he fucking walks away. And then when he walks away, somebody says something to get under his. Somebody will say a fucking question that just gets under his skin, and he'll turn around, come like it activated his something. You know what I mean? It'll activate somebody. He'll come back and go, yeah, it's, you know, haha, very funny. Once you come back and ask me that question with better people around, what are you talking about? These, you know, these aren't fucking. And then he walks away. I forget. You know what? I'll say this. At least at least Obama had a fucking town hall. At least there was town halls. That whole shit. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to remind the American people and the WTF Nation, of course, that this is the same guy that showed up at the last minute to run for office.
You are not lying.
This dude.
How did you mention it?
This dude shows the fuck up at the last minute. Literally trashes everybody on the fucking stand. Everybody trashes him on the fucking debate platform. And the next thing you know, he comes back, and the same people that were trashing him, again, I'm going to say, if I was running for fucking office and I had somebody running against me in a debate team, and then all of a sudden, I'm not going to ask them to be my VP. Fuck that. I'm not. Wait, you just called me this name, that name, and this name? No, dude. I'm done with just.
Or accuse me of sexual assault.
Accuse me, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
yeah. What the? And then you're gonna want me to say, I want to be your vice president, and he's gonna be like,
we did it, show. We did it, show.
We did it. Now, don't get me wrong. I want the diversity. I want the fucking inclusiveness. But you know what? That you gotta have more than that. Okay, fine, gotcha. Okay, what can you do? Fine. What you did that? What could you do? Yeah, don't tell me about this, because this whole fucking thing here, especially when someone's asking you, are you going to go visit the residents of East Palestine, Ohio, and then you get defensive. Then you get defensive about something that everybody else wants accountability. It's kind of funny how everybody wants accountability for everybody else but this administration. We just don't understand. You know, I've already spoken to that. The president's already said this. We need to talk to the president about this. The president's. I'm thinking, God damn, dude. Are you ever going to fucking answer anything? Don't come at me saying the last administration, the Republicans are doing this or the Republicans are doing that. Bro, dude, answer the fucking question. It's easy.
The fucking finger pointing fucking pisses me off more than anything.
Dude. Yeah.
Because just like, hey, I asked you a question. Don't blame this guy. That's a sign of bad leadership right off the bat. Because as soon as you start accusing and pointing your finger and blaming other people, you're a bad leader in my eyes.
Straight up, like already back, because we know Trump rolled back all these fucking things, and Trump rolled back this, and Trump rolled that. God damn, dude. You know what? The Sergeant of the Army did this.
Fight the bullet.
Yeah, the Sergeant of the Army. Yeah, he did a lot of decisions. There's a lot of decisions that were made before I made a decision in the military. And I didn't blame the fucking guys or gals that were 5 seats ahead of me or behind me, or, you know, what the hell?
That's a scapegoat. I'll be like, all right, there might have been some messed up policies from a previous administration. We are going to work it out, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to do what's best for everyone involved.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate it. At least it's something. At least it's a message coming out. At least it's something. It's not like the other fucking, that other time. What was it? He went and confronted that guy about weapons, and he's like pointing his fucking finger, almost sticking his finger in his chest about the Second Amendment. I don't want, I'm like, dude, you're running for freaking office. Nobody, it's almost like these guys would have a bunch of fourth graders. This whole administration sounds like a bunch of fourth graders. Fourth graders would actually run it better. That I would tell you what. Fourth graders have the politics of insects. They don't give a fuck.
I was about to say, children have the politics of insects.
They don't give a shit.
They will cut you down in a split second.
They will be a kid. They will be, yeah, exactly. If you want a fourth grader that comes up, imagine the White House spokesperson as a fourth grader, and then other fourth graders are the reporters, and they keep blowing it off. A fourth grader will go up there and just fucking knock you off the podium and say, I want your job. And then that's it. You know what I mean?
End of it.
Yeah, that'd be the end of it.
I'm now the press secretary.
I'm now the press secretary because you can't even answer a freaking question and you dodge everything. They call her Miss Binder now because they call her Binder because what was that Karine Jean-Pierre, the spokesperson for the White House, because all she does is just go through the go. I mean, at least fucking ad-lib and hip shoot. Do something to provide some energy to it to reassure us, just like the fucking balloon shoots.
I'll circle around.
Just Saki, yeah. That's just like
I'll
the balloon
circle
thing.
back to that.
We got like, I don't know, fucking, we got our own military blasting shit out of the fucking sky, and no one's gonna say anything. And everyone's gonna be like, you need to calm down. We have everything in control, dude. If we're shooting shit out of the fucking sky, you don't have it under control. There is more going on than what you say.
There's random fucking missiles missing targets and flying, and they can't identify where they disappeared to. That's another big one.
Oh yeah, forget there's a bunch of rednecks right now scouring Lake Huron right now, looking for some fucking a Sidewinder missile that blew off because they missed. Could you imagine being the guy that missed a balloon or missed a UFO? It took 2 shots to do it. I mean, granted, he was flying a fucking F-16, but I can't.
It wasn't the 22. The 22 hits its target.
I can't.
At least.
Yeah, exactly. I can't shit talk though because I'm not a fighter pilot, so it's like, well, let's see you do it. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm just saying.
Hey, give me a $13 million aircraft to try it, and let me do it.
Put me in an F-16, see what happens. Exactly that.
I'll do it. I'll give it a try. I bet sure I can do better than you.
Yeah. Well, I mean. Good luck. We might like fly around all loopy and shit, and then before we finally get to the destination to shoot down the motherfucker, the thing will probably have already flown away from our airspace by the time me and you figured out how to freaking find the missile.
It's the missile guidance system. It doesn't need help.
Exactly. You got the F-22 pilot's got a Darth Vader fucking helmet with all these sensor arrays and stuff like that. So it's like he was flying the top of the line fucking jet fighter to blast something out of the sky. F-16 pilots using fucking Atari 2600 graphics.
See, that's good. That's good for me. Pac-Man.
Exactly. Get an Xbox controller. Oh, hey, we got one of the
ping, 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 ping.
Exactly. We got one of the admins from U.S. Army W201 was JJ. Says call sign 2-shot pop. That's what I'm talking about. 2-shot pop. That's what she said. Oh man. But again,
need some oxygen.
Yeah. but think about this though, dude. Everyone's telling us to calm down. Don't react to the president like this. Don't do this. Man, if D. Tracy was still in office and all this shit was fucking happening, he would have been impeached 5 fucking times already by the time he made a decision because people were just fucking just like totally, because that whole fucking thing was just whatever, dude.
I mean, they were more worried about impeaching him than actually passing laws. That's the sad part about it. And
yeah.
Or fixing shit. And
yep. I mean, he was, like I said, he was a troll. There were some
committee,
things that,
committee.
About everything. About everything.
But what the hell were they doing the whole time he was elected? Committee.
Right. And the same people that were in our Congress for like 50 fucking years are now saying, well, this administration didn't do it. He was only in it for 4 fucking years. He was only in it for 4 years. Yeah, committee.
We need another committee.
We need another committee or find out why he's, golfing.
Oh, that's my new catchphrase now. I'm just
we need a committee. Oh my God. They live in Tron. Exactly. The Grid. That's a good movie. Oh man. So yeah, again. Well, currently, speaking of Mayor Pete, he's currently being under investigation right now.
What, for going on leave for 6 months?
I was about to say, how could you sit there and put him on investigation for ethics at work when he's never been at work? No, I shouldn't say that. He's not been. He's been at work.
He's been sitting home.
Just
with his kid.
Man, he's like taking advantage of that parental leave act, man. Fuck.
At least, the government officials who get that. It took like the army, 12 years to figure this shit?
Yeah, it took the army about 12 years to figure out, and then a year to prep for it, and then a month after the fucking policy went out by the DOD, then they decided to come out and do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Army's like, yeah,
needed a brief of the pre-brief, to the pre-post, and the post-brief, and the existential brief, and then the actual brief, and then the post brief, and then the brief of excellence.
Don't forget,
then we figured it out.
And don't forget, we have to have a committee, Pooks. Don't forget, we have to have a committee.
Oh yeah, you gotta have the committee. Gotta have it.
So apparently, Mayor Pete now is under investigation for unauthorized flights or whatever. I kind of thought that there was kind of like in their job that they have to fly around. Like, isn't that they have to use government aircraft in the discharge of their duties or some shit?
I really don't know about like actual like politicians, like what are they? Chamber council members,
cabinet members, yeah.
Did they fly just commercial most of the time? I thought.
See, I don't know. I'm not. I know. I've seen. I don't know. I've seen. Specifically, cabinet secretaries. I think are given a little bit more like an authorization to the freaking to fly. You know what I mean? It's like the Department of Transportation gets their plane. Department of Defense has their plane or something like that. The Secretary
the Platinum GTC, man. Like use it wherever you want to. As long as you don't use it as a strip club, you're good to go at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I think you're working that G job, dude. You get that good paper, man. You can fly first class anytime. Just show up.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my card. You're like you said, the Super Platinum GTC. Just show up and there you go. Here's your card.
Yeah, boom, boom. I need to go from New York to San Francisco. Here's my card. I want first class.
Right,
Bam, right on the plane.
I need my first class ticket from whatever to East Palestine.
Unless you fly American, then you're fucked at that point.
No, unless you fly or Southwest. I've been gambling a lot on Southwest, man. Those guys. Woof. I told you I showed you that big old email they sent out to see what Southwest. Sorry, your plane ride got all jacked up during the holidays, but you'll be good. I want to see that DTS. Exactly that, JJ. Exactly that.
It'll take you 6 months to find out what your DTS info was.
That's it. Well, no, but they're. I'm pretty sure they have like a code. They have that special code where they can go, oh yeah, well, I can.
I'm special and my DTS gets processed faster.
Let them eat cake special. What are you talking about, Pookie?
Sitting here getting cussed out by my command because I didn't pay my credit card because I ain't got my DTS yet.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't got my DTS voucher back, and I got $550, and you're telling me freaking I can't get this shit, whatever. Man, it's frustrating as shit. So, what was the other drama about this? Again, that whole thing. I didn't mean to go off on the Ukraine thing, but I'm gonna tell you what. This is something that we got robbed. We got robbed. Basically, had we not had the GWAT, I think we'd be fighting with Ivan. I think this, if stuff had flipped over or something like that, like if the alternate universe, Quantum Mania universe. Have you seen that new movie yet? That new.
Nah, I haven't seen it, but I want to see it. But I know what you're getting at.
But I think we would have been involved anyways. We were still riding on that high after the fall of the wall, Desert Storm, and then a few years go by. We did the Bosnia and then the Kosovo thing, and then we're like,
Afghanistan.
We
finally got away from the Infinity Wars, and I really do think if this would have popped off during the Infinity Wars, we would have been like boots on the ground with this crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
It would have just been the continuation of the Infinity War. I think our politicians don't want to put U.S. troops on the ground because of that, and because 23 years?
Mm-hmm.
Something along the lines of that.
The anniversary of Operation Iraqi Freedom's coming up.
Oh yeah, fun.
And it's the invasion and then the hostilities and all that's coming up. So 20 years. 20 years.
All those weapons of mass destruction, right?
Oh man, we're gonna armchair this one because we've been there. So it's kind of like you want to armchair that. God dang, man, and then it'd have been man.
Stop giving a Loch Ness monster money, man. Just stop.
I need about $350.
I need about $350. Just stop it.
I need about $350. Yeah, exactly. Oh lordy. Oh man, what was that? If we had the GWAT, we would have the Rocky fighting with Drago. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We had the, Ivan Drago, freaking, the Russians lost more in one offensive than the U.S. did in 20 years. That's another thing too. Oh, snap.
That's a thing.
There's our guest. Hey.
Did I jump in too early?
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. You kind of jumped in early, but I forgot. It's almost time for our break anyway. So It's cool.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I thought you would have a like a background room, and then you would let me in.
Yeah. You kind of popped in like boop boop. I'm like, oh snap. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That was
you guys have backstage setting. My bad.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You can stay right there. We're gonna take a break right quick. All right, guys, that's our guest. So we're gonna be right back, and we'll shoot the breeze. I can't wait because this is a topic that a lot of veterans don't know too much about, and Leah's going to come on to shoot the breeze and tell us the goings on. So we'll be right back. Everyone, refill your glasses and shots. Stand by.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Nothing feels the same. Left it all behind.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Oh, man. My hosts back for our second portion of the Monday edition. And on the line right now, I got Leah Bucholz. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, same here. So you're representing Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. So obviously you have some ties to the veteran community. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So first of all, I just want to say I'm a longtime fan. I am a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a physician assistant. So I started off on active duty as a private medic. I was a combat medic. I came in, in 2004, deployed with the 82nd. That was my first unit. Yeah, so I got to get brought up right from the beginning, right? As a little paratrooper when I was in my early 20s. I enjoyed that tremendously, deployed for 15 months. Had a couple other really great assignments and just part of that trajectory of being a medic, a lot of us become PAs, right? Sure, a lot of the listeners, dealt with their battalion PA. That's their line doc for the most part, right? So that was kind of a natural trajectory. So I went to the military's PA program, commissioned after I was a E6 at the time, went to PA school. Did that, got some really great experiences, and I was in the 101st for several years. I don't know if a lot of 101st people listening, but that was enjoyable.
We won't hold that. We won't hold that against you. But go ahead, continue back.
I was 82nd and 101, so I preferred my 82nd time. But then my last assignment on active duty was with 5th Special Forces, and that was a tremendous time. I loved that. It was a totally different animal. But it was great. And so then, I became a mom. And so sometimes that's hard. And so balancing all of those things. And I decided that it was time for me to go and loved my time. It was great. Got off active duty. I was being a PA, figuring stuff out, doing a little bit of VA compensation and pension exams. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there that, have been through that process. I'm a disabled vet. I've been on both sides of that table, So I learned some stuff and we found that, we could do a lot of good for a lot of veterans. And so this company was formed. We started doing a lot of Nexus letters, which we'll get into, I'm sure, what those are, what that means, providing private medical evidence for disabled veterans and with or without attorneys. And then I got a big band of my brothers together, right? A bunch of my Army PA brothers. And we all, support this company. And so there's about support staff. Everybody's either a disabled veteran, Army PA, we've got one or two spouses, and we're just doing our thing, trying to help veterans kind of navigate this process from the medical side of the house.
We'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So was this difficult to start this up, to get it together? There's a lot of, I don't even know how to start up something like that for the medical field. Was it easy?
So it was not easy. So it's funny because I never meant to start a business at all. Like I was working in urgent care, doing emergency, working in an ER, and just kind of fell into this. And it started with me writing one paper, right? Like, so when you think about what we do, what a Nexus letter is it's kind of like medical expert testimony. So like if you watch Law and Order, you see these medical experts get up on the stand and they say, oh, here's my opinion on such and such.
Right.
That's kind of what we do, but in written format. And so these documents, which are never required, they can just be helpful, right? They assist veterans with getting their claims approved, right? It doesn't mean they will get approved. There's never any guarantee in anything like that. In fact, the service that I offer, you can get from your own doctor, right? You can get from the VA. I did a video on this recently and showed the VA's policy on how veterans should be able to go and ask their VA doctor, hey, can you write a letter for me to support my claim for VA disability, right? That's a VA policy, but sometimes, you know, doctors just don't know. So they say things like it's a conflict of interest, or I don't have time, I don't know how, I don't whatever. And so we basically dug into the regulations and, you know, really educated ourselves on how we can best support this from the medical side of the house. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Well, can you get into then what is the Nexus letter? What is the Nexus letter?
So a Nexus letter is a technical report that shows a link between an injury and an illness in a veteran's service. Okay. So again, they're not always required, but let's say you had an IED blast and you got your leg blown off, right? That shouldn't require somebody to say, you know, this is related to their service, right? It's quite obvious that happened on active duty, right? But let's say you're a Vietnam vet and there was no documentation back in the day, right? Back in the day, there was, you know, sick call was not even as robust as it is today.
Right.
And even think about guys in the 80s and the 90s who are like, I didn't want to be a sick call ranger. I didn't want to go to sick call. My first sergeant would rag me, et cetera, right?
Right.
So people weren't getting things documented. Let's say you're a Vietnam vet, you had all these injuries, you never got seen for it. You file a claim 30 years later because you don't even know what VA disability is in the 70s and 80s, whatever.
Right.
You know, it may be very easy, but you may get a response that says, well, there was no in-service documents, right? And there's no connection here, right? So these technical reports we write, we review a lot of medical evidence, we get the veterans' personal statements, their buddy statements, things like that. And then we just write a report on, you know, using evidence-based literature to show, you know, how being, you know, a pilot, being even a rotary wing pilot, you can get, you know, G-forces and vibrations can cause back issues, you know, things like that. Right. So we help tie those things together. Now, what we don't do is represent claimants, right? Because that's federal law requires you to be, you know, accredited to do that. You got to be a lawyer. You got to be stuff like that. So we just help with that stuff on the side that can help. You know, some of the biggest law firms in VA disability send us clients and collaborate with us so that we can help them get the veterans through the system.
Right. That's another term. I remember some of the stuff that you sent us. It's called also a independent medical opinion. Is that what that's another name for it?
Yeah. So Nexus letter is like the slang, right? Like what the veteran community kind of knows and what they hear, but it, you know, a more formal term would be an independent medical opinion, right? So I don't have any, you know, I don't charge veterans to, you know, if I write a report, I charge them a small upfront fee, right? Which you can get done for free, right? So I don't want anyone to take away from this that they have to hire someone like me to assist them, right? You don't have to have a medical opinion letter. You can get one for free from your treating doctor or little to no cost, right? They, you know, I've spent years, you know, if I write a letter, it might be 8 pages, right? You go to your doctor, you might write 2 sentences, but that 2 sentences might help too. So I'm not trying to dissuade people from doing that. I just think it's important for people to understand that having private medical evidence, even if it's from your own doctor or from whomever, may be beneficial, right?
Right. Well, not to mention the fact that there might be, like, I wouldn't know, or some individuals wouldn't know how to even begin that process. And I could just see that they would get, and that's the reason why a lot of veterans get that whole stigma of, I hate the VA, is because some of the process in itself, it's so bureaucratic. Right. Yeah. So how long with you guys, I mean, for just give us an example, how long would how long would a Nexus letter or an IMO take?
So generally speaking, we get things done in less than a week. So we have about a 7-day turnaround. We do have rush options. So sometimes veterans will come and they say, hey, I'm running up on a deadline. I have to have my stuff in by, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, and we'll work with them. Right. But that's generally pretty quick. And like I said, most of my people that work with me, I have a small group that are like me, Army PAs. I got a couple psychologists too that help with the mental health side of the house. one of my psychologists is a 4-time combat veteran Marine, right? So they know, like, we know how to read a DD-214. We know how to look through military medical records. We understand kind of that language and the process, if that makes sense. So about a week or so.
Gotcha. Now, you guys do any, like, real quick, hey, I need to get this now, rush options or something like that? For you guys?
We do. So, our prices are pretty low. I don't want to spam everybody with that. You guys can definitely, I hate to do that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I was just curious because some VSOs, they say they have a rush option and to them, it's like 2 weeks. And they're like, well, we got to get stuff together and we have to do a record review. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let me help. I usually end up helping some of the processes that I went through to get some of the things, a little faster. Can you give us what a process you guys do? Just a little overhead on what you guys do for a record review.
Yeah. So generally people upload, if somebody contacts us through our website, or any of our, we're on a lot of different social media platforms. Right. We send out a message kind of discussing what our services are, what we offer. That's also pretty transparent on our website. We generally ask the veteran kind of, what are you looking for? What are you needing assistance with? We tell them what we don't do, which is like provide strategy assistance, tell them how to file a claim. We just strictly say like, hey, you want a Nexus letter? We might be able to assist you. If you got additional questions, you need to go with a VSO, right? Because again, it's like a conflict of interest, right? Like I can't be telling people how to do things. Oh, and then by the way, pay me for this evidence that I'm telling you need, right?
Right.
We try to keep that separated so that veterans feel empowered to do what's best for them. And we don't influence that, right? We just say, this is what we can do. But it's up to you. And then if you aren't sure what to do, here are a list of legal professionals that you can go and consult with, right? Because it's a personal decision. So essentially they say, yeah, I want a letter for my knee pain or whatever. I've been denied 10 times. Can you help me with a letter for my knee pain? Like, no problem. We send them a link for a secure upload, file upload. Everything we do is encrypted, protect the documents, all that kind of stuff. And then one of our medical experts reaches out to them, generally same day, max 48 hours, but that's at the long shoot of it, right? And then we just start that records review process, and we'll review an unlimited number of records, and that never expires. So let's say I help you with a letter for your knee today. You win. And then you come back 6 months later and you're like, hey, can you look at my foot now? No problem. I got you. There's no additional charge for me to look at that, right? I just look at unlimited number of files from now until the cows come home. And that process, I will throw that out there, costs $200, right?
Right. No.
$200 for me to review your files from now until the rest of all time. And we have a lot of people that come back over and over again because they're like, hey, I was successful. Can you help me with the next thing or whatever?
Right. Throughout this whole process, though, I just want the audience to understand that they don't provide any diagnosis or treatment for any condition.
Correct.
It's purely an independent medical opinion from pre-existing diagnoses and medical evidence. Through that individual's health record. So it's not like. It's not like it because I don't want everybody to say, "Oh, will you help me do that?" I'm like, "Whoa!" I just want to make sure that that's not put out there. So are you able to provide anybody with legal advice or represent somebody for a medical claim?
Yeah, so we don't do any of that. We absolutely don't do any of that. Like I said, we have a ton of really great. And I actually have a little YouTube channel. I don't have a big following like you guys or anything, but I have a really great video actually that takes people through. It's real short. It's like a 5-minute video of where to go on va.gov where you can search for accredited legal representation.
Gotcha.
And so I'll point people to that, where I have a list of like, here's 10 people. Everybody can go to a VSO. If you don't know what a VSO is, a veteran service officer, this is a free resource, right? Everybody can, like the federal government or whoever pays for, whether it's the DAV or whoever pays for these entities for veterans to go and get a free assistance with filing their claims.
Gotcha.
Right. So we don't do any of that stuff, but we are always like, here are some resources you can go to. And as you mentioned with the diagnosis piece, like we do stuff on like a forensic evaluation of the records, right? So we review what's there and try to put those pieces together. And so I wish that we could diagnose people and do that, but then there's like this element of like ethics, right? Where some people might not think about that because they don't see this big picture. But if I was to tell you a diagnosis for PTSD and say, yeah, sure, you got PTSD, give me $500, whatever, I wrote it.
Yeah.
Like, how much credibility does that really hold?
No, I know. Well, there's some that need it and that actually need it, and there's some that, what somebody throwing a question. You guys, by the way, can keep asking questions too. What happens when they say all your records are lost? Were lost? What do you do from there?
That's a really great question. So it just depends on the situation. So there's like two primary ways for people to get service connected for a disability, right? So there's primary or direct service connection, and then there's secondary service connection. So if somebody's connected for their left knee, let's say, and they got service connected for it because there were records of that, right? And then their right knee starts bothering them years later because they're walking all funky, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't necessarily need to see insert. I mean, it's great for me to see the documentation, but it's not relevant if it started post-service and it's related to the primary thing, right? Now, when it comes to a straight up, I don't have records, but I hurt my back in 1987. I don't have any documents. It burned in a fire, all this kind of crap, right? Things like buddy letters can be helpful, right? A personal statement. Sometimes I look at the MOS, right? Or the NEC or whatever they call it in the Navy, right? The MOS. If you're an 11 Bravo, there's something called the MOS Smart Book. I have a quick video on that too. So we look at what are the duty requirements of that MOS to stay retained in the MOS. There's actually regulations that say to be an 11 Bravo skill level 2, you have to be able to do this, 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 and this.
Right.
So I'll say, okay, well, these are the things that were required of his MOS. He was a paratrooper. He did this. He, he's the artillery guy. He's got tinnitus. You guys are denying him for his ringing in his ears, but we know like there's policies out there. There's actual documentation out there that say this is a high risk for acoustic noise exposure because of the MOS. Right. So we can kind of pull, I look at a DD-214, like you got a Purple Heart. Well, maybe there's not medical records, but we see that you have a CAB or a CIB, or we see that you got this Purple Heart. So we look and investigate like all of those additional pieces to try to put the puzzle together. If that makes sense. No,
totally makes sense. You talking about that tinnitus thing, man. The VA's like, yeah, we don't care if you were a jump master. What?
I call it like badge protecting, right? You familiar with the term badge?
Yep.
Okay, so for some reason, I don't know why, there are some examiners out there that feel like that these veterans are taking money out of their pockets. And I'm like, or they're raiders that are like, okay, well, I served 25 years and you only served 3 years and you're not, I don't want to cuss. I know you cuss. But
go for it. You can say it. Just open
season. Like this person isn't shit. So I'm just gonna say no because I'm badge protecting this. I don't believe sleep apnea is related to anything. I'm like, well, dude, like the federal law says people can be rated for sleep apnea, whether you agree or not that the military caused it. Like this is what it says. Like that. It just there's personalities.
No, I hear you. Because it's like. You can claim tinnitus, and everyone's like, "Yep, he's got blast, he's got this, he jumped on airplanes for this long, blah 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 blah." Yep, we go, you got it, but we're service connected, but you get 0. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? So I'm like,
there's some wild things, and I read every piece of it. So not only do I read the medical records, I read the past denials. I read and review why, because all of you guys can know, like that's at your fingertips. If you get denied for something, all you got to do is call and say, they actually have it on va.gov now. You can download them recently. You call, say, can I have my decision? Can I have my rating decision letter, my denial letter for my tinnitus? And then you could read the little block that says, we denied you because even though you're infantry, you didn't complain about it in service. So sorry. Like,
it's because I couldn't hear it anymore.
Right. I mean, there's just wild stuff. And so we're so lucky and blessed to like help our brothers and sisters. And like, we're yes, we're a for-profit business. I'm sorry. I wish I could do it for free, but I got to like keep a roof over my head.
No, I understand. No, and what also be for profit on some aspect, you can actually, you how do I say this? You could do a little bit more than what volunteers can do. It's like there's I don't know. There seems like to be more of a sense of urgency because you're getting paid for it and somebody's paying you that service, that you're gonna, that's kind of like their contract. Hey, I'm paying you to do this. Help me out. You know what I mean? Somebody's asking here that if you see something that's manipulated by the sick call staff or blatantly lied, is there any way to challenge that? Basically, if you went in for something and they documented that you went in for something else.
That's a great question. So that's on the flip side of what I do now. Like I sat in the battalion aid station like forever, and listen, I get it. It stinks. Like our sick call, especially in the cold months, we'd have like 30 dudes playing Angry Birds on their phone because they don't want to be at PT, right? So everybody's just sitting there. And then you get people that are just salty and they don't necessarily have compassion. They're not documenting correctly, or they're rushing you out the door or whatever. So I would say for stuff like that, active duty folks, like, man, there's a lot of options. There's something called the patient advocate, right? Where you can go. I mean, if you're at the battalion aid station, you still have recourse, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can go to the patient advocate at the hospital and say, hey, listen, like I didn't get taken care of. Go to your chain of command. I know that doesn't always work. Right. I'm just giving you options. Chain of command. Maybe it's the medics, right? So sometimes my medics would be screening sick call and they would do something boneheaded that should have been told to me, right? And then we got to course correct that. So I would say if something is documented in your record that you don't agree with, you just have to, raise it up. Patient advocate is probably like the kill switch where you're going to go to that person at the hospital and make a formal complaint. Right.
Yeah. Do you help your clients submit or track medical claims?
No. So we don't do that at all. So again, that's what those VSOs, accredited claims agents, and accredited VA attorneys do. Mm-hmm. So we just review that evidence. We write the medical opinion letters if we can. So, and that's another thing is that we aren't always able to do it. If you come, we try to screen people out like that when they come through. If somebody's like, hey, can you write me a letter for my arm amputation? And we're like, well, you have two arms, so we probably can't do that, right? So like, that person doesn't even get to like pass go, right?
I'm sorry, I'll let you finish.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I can't always. So to answer your question, no, we don't track claims.
Gotcha.
Even people will come and ask me, like, what's your success rate? And I'm like, I don't track that. And anyone that tells you they do and gives you some kind of number are full of crap, right? Yeah. Because there's too many variables in the system. There's bajillions of claims that happen every year. I would be more wary of somebody telling you I have a 98% success rate. Like that's BS.
Yeah. So have you seen those? Have you seen some outlandish ones where people will come across and say
all the time?
Okay.
Every day.
It's just like Cause says the arm grew back. That's what happened. That's why you didn't get that claim.
I see some of the wildest stuff, and I try to keep my like objective like hat on because like everybody has a different experience, right? Like everybody has a different experience. So I just look at the evidence and I say like, yes, this makes sense, or no, this doesn't make sense. Like unless someone's blatantly like catching themselves in some kind of fraudulent BS in an email to me, I give them the benefit of the doubt and I say, okay, this is what they're saying. This is whatever. But yeah, I hear some wild stuff sometimes. And not everybody gets a letter because to me, it's more important for me to say, no, I don't think I can support this than to take your money and give you false hope. So you can sit there for 6 months and think this is going to get approved. And even what I do doesn't mean you're going to get approved. Right. But if I'm like, this sucks, A, that's like crappy to do to a veteran. And B, like we have a pretty solid reputation. If you go on Reddit, which is the armpit of America, right?
Yeah,
and you look at prestige veteran,
oh man,
overwhelming positive response.
I thought Twitter was a dumpster fire until someone, hey, look at these Reddit threads, and then I'm like, what the? You're right. It's some of the information and some of it's sarcastic, some of it's true, some of it's not. I'm like, holy shit. Do you on that note, do you do a QA/QC? Has like the VA ever come to say, hey, Leah, could you give us a QA QC on this? And this is what this guy claimed for part of their like
No,
fraud.
but I wish they would. I wish they would come to me and like my dream. This is gonna sound crazy. I don't tell many people this. I wish that one day the VA would be like, "You're doing a lot of good things for veterans. Can you help us come and like clean up our process? Can you come help us show these nurse practitioners or PAs around the country like how to investigate a record properly? Like, what are some of the things that you look at? Like, because systemically, and I think we talked about this on the break, like if I did not have to exist at all because everything was getting done correctly, that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime, but if a company like mine didn't have to exist, that would mean veterans were getting like taken care of all the time, right?
Right, exactly. Now did I feel like an STD shot after spending time on Reddit. It's a comment in the chats.
It's wild.
Now with that, now you're located in what state are you located in?
So I'm in Texas, which I think is like the most veteran friendly state of all, right? I love Texas. But we have our experts, like my crew are all over the country, right? Gotcha. So everything we do is virtual, right? Like it's all remote. And because we're not diagnosing people, we're not like doing hands-on physical exam, like we just keep ourselves completely separate into this one little piece. We can help veterans everywhere.
Gotcha. So basically now you get that Nexus letter done, you get the information from the veteran. What happens after that? Like what does the veteran do after they get that IMO?
So it's really up to them. A lot of veterans are super savvy with filing their own claims, right? It's supposed to be set up that way. It's supposed to be a user-friendly thing. It's step by step. It's pretty well explained. But if they're pretty savvy and they know how to do it and they know, if it's a first-time filing or an appeal or whatever, they can follow those steps if they're comfortable. If they're not, they can just head on over to a VSO, right? Or one of those types of professionals that we already discussed that can help them file their claim. And then I say, keep me posted. Let me know how it goes.
Right. Now, one of the questions in the chats also is, do you do appeals?
So I don't personally do any type of appeals because of the things we discussed, but many veterans, I would say probably like 70% of the people I work with are people that have been denied in the past. And that's why there's, because you can go try to file. I mean, you never have to have medical evidence, right? So if you file for something like tinnitus, right? Some veterans are super anxious and they just want to add more evidence because they just want to, right? I never advise to or against, but I'm also always like, it's tinnitus, dude. Like hopefully you're going to get approved unless you get a bad protector who's like, no, right?
Yeah.
Most people I work with have been denied in the past. Yes.
You keep talking about badge protector. Did you go to jump master school?
No, I hate that. I know I'm just like I'm old school. No, but I did go to air assault school and I went to airborne school.
You see how they walk around. You see how they walk around with their black hats, and they just like, you could tell they're badge protectors. I don't want to say it. I mean, they don't want to admit it, but yeah, you look at them like, you don't want me to be here. You just want to you just want me to fail.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yes. I never went. And to be honest with you, I never jumped out of a plane again after my first stint. Like I left the 82nd as an E5. And, after that, like I said, I was in the 101st and I did all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And when I went back to 5th group, I was pregnant with my third kid. I was fortunate. I loved it, but I was the first woman that got to, it was during that integration while they were doing a lot of the rolling in. And so they selected me to be the first woman or like organic PA in SF, which was amazing. But I was like 3 or 4 months pregnant at the time. Like, are y'all sure you want me to come over here? I'm pregnant. And they're like, yeah, Leah, come on, let's go. So I went. And so I didn't go back on jump status. And it had been many years since I was like lower enlisted. So I went back, I had my kid, my XO came in my office one day and he was like, oh man, this jump was great today. How was your jump? And I was just like, crickets. And he was like, are you not on jump status? And I was like, nope. And that was that, because, I'm like getting older now. When you're younger, when you're in your like 20s and stuff, you're like invincible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't go to jump school until I was 30 years old. And then from there.
Okay. I mean, I went to Aerosol when I was 32.
I didn't say it was smart. I just said that I just went there.
I mean,
so some other questions here. It's kind of like in line with some of your FAQs too. Will you refer someone to a medical provider for a diagnosis?
No, I don't, because I try to keep it clean. So I don't like have people that I say, hey, go here, go there. Like I just say, go see your VA provider, your primary care doctor. I try to keep it as clean as possible. That way, like the credibility of what we do stays like,
So, well, I mean, I was just wondering, has anybody come back and said, you guys should be doing this or whatever? Everyone's been on board pretty much.
No, I mean, we get a lot of really positive feedback. I mean, I've had one or two, maybe I had a doctor get pissed off at me one time.
That's what I want to hear. Go ahead. Sorry. Waiting for the tea. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I had a doctor get mad one time. So here's the deal. Like, I'm a PA. I think I told you that. I'm a physician assistant, a PA, right? I'm not a physician. Okay. I never claimed to be. I don't think that this work. First of all, the VA's own CMP examiners, most of them are PAs or nurse practitioners. Okay. They just are. All right. This type of work requires you to have a certain level of medical knowledge, but it's like technical report writing. It's research based. Okay. And when we came in, we offered a price point that's like a fraction of what our competitors, like the doctors in this space that have been around for decades, right? They're charging people, $5,000 to $10,000, right? And I'm charging like $500, right? Wow. And so they get kind of mad and they're like, who the hell are you? You're a PA. And I'm like, well, I'm here. And, the lawyers love it too. Like the lawyers who have been at the mercy of some of these doctors for years, I won't name any of the attorneys that we work with, but they're some of the biggest ones in the country. And they're like, Leah, you are money. Like your reports are winning and they're like a fraction of the price. So we stepped on some toes, but that's okay. Cause there's so many veterans to help.
Right.
We all be collegial and like be in support.
Well, right? there should be no professional envy or no, I don't know, people getting butthurt about what you're trying to do because we're all trying to do the same mission, right? I mean, that's what you would think. Yeah. Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, they get butthurt. Let them fuck
we
it.
Shook it up.
Let them get butthurt. Let them get butthurt.
If you go to my YouTube channel, like all of this, like I've tried to make my videos shorter and shorter, but like I just tell people the research I use. Like you go watch one of my videos, I'm like, go read this article published on this date, take it to your doctor, ask him to put it in a letter. Like go do it. Right. Like here's all the free information. You don't need me.
Right. Exactly.
Here. Yeah. So
hang on, I'm gonna drop your YouTube channel in all the chats, so that way everybody gets it. I already posted your website too. So from I guess you would say from ground up, I feel like I need to have this done. I don't feel like this is my way. I call you up, and then what can you give me? Just give me a process. What would you ask me if you're like, all right, Ken, what do you want? I want this. This is all right. Well, here's what you need from me. What would you give me? Like, do you have some sort of checklist or something like that?
Yeah. So my girl, she's actually I have a couple people that like run operations in the front, and the main one, she's amazing. Her name's Julie. She's a Navy Corpsman veteran. She's a corpsman. And she is a badass. Like she runs that ship so tight up front, and I just adore her. But she has a good system. So she tells people like, hey, this is our process. She has an intake email. She says, this is what we need. We need, a copy of your DD-214. We need a copy of your driver's license because we need to make sure like you're this person, right?
Right, exactly.
We need, your medical records, your service treatment records, your medical records that are supporting whatever the issue is. Any buddy letters, we want to see previous denial letters because we want to get that piece of like what happened, right? And people may not have all of those things, right? Like, let's say they don't have their service treatment records. It just depends on the issue. And so she kind of goes back and forth with them in the intake process. And if they're asking for something ridiculous, like, hey, I'd like my left arm that got cut off. That's not, if she says, hey, did your arm get cut off? No, I still have 2 arms. Well, she'll say, sorry, we can't help you, but is there something else you'd like assistance with? Maybe we can help you. Right. So she'll screen people, bring them in. Once they get in, they get that secure file upload all of their documents. One of our experts reaches out within 48 hours. And then we have a series of questionnaires and we just investigate and dig in. Like if the person's like, go ahead.
So basically, from the intake side of the house, after everything's been scrutinized, then you hand it over to the next step, which is.
So somebody signs up, and we just have this process where everything's basically integrated through our secure server. So we have a list basically, and then an assignment goes to one of the experts. Sometimes we'll obviously if it's a mental health thing, we match it with one of our psychologists, right?
Yeah.
If it's a cardiac condition, any of us can do them, but I have a girl that works in cardiology for like a bajillion years. So usually I'm like, Heather, you're handling the cardiac, right? Mm-hmm. So we give the assignments to the experts. The expert will reach out. And then we just have this way of, going through what are the conditions that they'd like assistance with. We don't kind of say, usually the person has to have an idea of what they want because we don't want to feed them. This is what you should do. This is what you know what I mean? Like, oh, you have a toe. Well, maybe your toe got injured in service. Mm-hmm. No, it's like, what is it that you're seeking assistance with? Because we don't want to lead people or feed them information. And so we investigate the record. We go back and forth with the veteran via email, like encrypted email, like what are these issues, or through our server or whatever. We come to an agreement on what the veteran wants. And then we provide them that document within 7 days or 48 hours if they want to rush.
Right. And then after all that's done, then then you go yes or no or
no. So like if they come and they're like, hey, I need a letter for my left knee, right? My expert will email them same day. Hey, like, let's talk about this knee issue. They go back and forth on the knee issue. It could be the same day where they're like, yep, I've reviewed your records. I've reviewed everything. Your response. It depends on the veteran's response time. If the veteran doesn't respond for like 3 weeks, like we're at their mercy, right? But if the veteran's on top of stuff and they're like communicating back and forth with us, if it's me, for example, I'll say, okay, I could do this letter for you. This is going to be the cost. Veteran's like, okay, no problem. I'm down. Or I'll say, I can do this, but I can't do this. Here's what I can do. So here is the results of my analysis of your files and your requests. That could be same day, depending on the veteran's response time.
Gotcha.
Veteran says, yeah, I want to proceed. Okay, no problem. Like, here's an invoice for what I'm going to do for you.
Right.
And then the letter is in their hand within 7 days. And then they're off to the races with whatever they're going to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. The best part about that too is that you're obvious, and you said this earlier. I think I caught that earlier. Is you're providing updates, like you're in constant contact with the veteran. It's not like hey, thanks for the documents. We'll see you soon. You're keeping them posted, right?
Yeah, and so basically, the way that we were able to do this, and the way that we were able to use technology to like make our speed of processing faster. And then I also crack the whip on everybody, to make sure, because we have veterans that, listen, I'm a veteran. Veterans they can be demanding and they can have some personalities. And so we want to get them what they need and get them out the door.
Right.
So that we're not getting bitched at like, where's my stuff? It's been, 12 days. Where most of our competitors take like at least 30 days to do a records review. We're busting out a records review within a couple of days, right? And how is that possible? Well, it's because we have a system of the way that we review things. We're organized, right? We're super organized in our approach.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, so then you give me my letter and I come back, and then from there I'm to my own devices, and then from there you do have an exit questionnaire too, right? Like, hey, I got this done. She helped me with this. Do they, again, I keep wondering how come the VA doesn't even get involved with this shit. I mean, why don't, like, I know you can't provide a list of providers, but I know the VA, I've seen on some bulletin boards and some VA clinics, cards of where people put stuff for some of the, and I'm just wondering, does anybody within the VA do that as well? I mean, they're like, hey, make sure you talk to Prestige and blah, 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 or nobody does that?
They do. I mean, we have a lot of people that like send people our direction, but you know, I've also been like, I've done a couple of like I went on a nonprofit like cruise for veterans and I spoke at it, but I have this really hard time. I'm having this conversation with you right now. I love it. But like, people are like, why don't you go do some advertisement around Fort Hood? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you go, you know, into the VA hospitals? Like, I never want a veteran to feel like I'm selling something to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm here if you need me, right? I don't want to push my service on you and make you feel like I'm like pressuring you or spamming you. So I just take this more passive approach to like my reputation, or our reputation brings our family.
I got you, because that's one thing when you were talking before in an email, or I saw some email correspondences, it's you're going to have to be, in order for, I know what you're saying. You don't want to push your stuff. You don't want to be like, hey, I'm trying to sell you something. But I got to tell everybody that you're part of Prestige. You know, I got to tell people who you are.
That. Like, like the biggest takeaway I could have from this is if people just get empowered by like I feel like the educational content that I put out has helped so many people without them ever even hiring me or emailing me or anything. I get so much feedback like, oh, I never hired you. Like, go look at our Google reviews or go look at Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't hire her, but I watched a bunch of her videos and it showed me the road.
Yeah, you got some good video. I was looking at some of your YouTube stuff, and I was taking some notes down too, copy and pasting, and you know, sending to some. I have friends that that some of them are. I'll admit it, man. Some of them are just stubborn too. That like, I'm so pissed off. The VA didn't give me this. Well, what did you do? Well, I didn't turn in this document, but I did this, and they still say, well, you got to turn in the document, dude. You gotta. You're so on it. You got to turn the document in, and yes, we have to have. Somebody just said demystify the VA's claims process is the key. Exactly that. You need to have. I mean, and also the VA doesn't help with their, I would say, customer service. Sometimes, here you go, Sergeant, you need this. Yeah, but I need to have this filled. Yeah, okay. Anyways, make sure you look back page 2. Okay, what about this? If you look at the 3rd page on this, make sure you claim that. But where am I supposed to fill this in? There's nobody to sit down and say, okay, chump, here's what you need to do. You know what I mean?
I think that's just a federal government thing, right? Like, even in the military, right? Like, how many times are you like I remember we went to JRTC one time and like the op order wasn't even written yet. And we were actually there. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
You know, it just like you deal with a big system and it's like, and a lot of those people, you know, they don't even know what they're doing. Like, they take a 3-hour course and then like they're in charge of claims, right? Like, and that's not to knock them. Like, there's a lot of really fantastic people there, but it's just like in any job, whether it's there or anywhere, you got good apples and bad apples in a huge system. You know?
No, I gotcha. No, it's the same. Yeah, you're right. Because right now, well, just some of the stuff that we're dealing right now with recruiting and retention for sending people to these rotations to Europe. It's going back to the way it used to be. Like, oh, well, don't sign your dwell letter. We got you. Oh, you're in an ETS? Well, we didn't hear that. You know what I mean? We're going to send you anyways. You know, and you're like, dude, I'm ETSing in like 3 months. What are you doing? Some of the things you're talking about, I'm highlighting here, just going over some of the listing, is what happens in VA disability CMP exam for scars.
Yeah, I did that one today. That was a good one.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk.
So like most of the stuff that I put out, just like you were attesting to earlier, right? Like, it's demystifying it, but it's actually all there. It's just like finding where it is, right? So like that video I did is like, there's this thing called a DBQ, right? A disability benefit questionnaire. And like every CMP exam, they basically have this form. It's on va.gov. You just go pull it up, SCAR DBQ. And they're just going to go down it. So you go to the CMP exam and they're going to go over that form. So I did a video, like, this is what happens. They pull up this form that you can get on va.gov and they're going to ask you every question on this form. So now you know what's going to happen, right? Because it's just that knowledge, just like when I started making videos, right? And I'm never going to be like you, right? I'm never going to be amazing at...
Oh, stop. I'm just new at this.
No, but like at one point when I first started making videos, like if you look at my early ones, I'm like holding my phone sideways. My hand is like shaking. Like, the video is like...
Man, you haven't heard my first shows back in the day, man. Ooh, buddy. I'm not sure what I was doing.
It's like knowledge is power, and to you this is probably super easy now, like, you know, going through all the motions.
Yeah, exactly. Well, muscle memory, just like you're doing a JMPI type of thing, you know what I mean? It's just like muscle memory. So another question here. Somebody asked, and it's actually part of your Medical Monday. Herpes simplex and VA disability. Is there? Someone saw that, and I have to ask. So, is there a connection in VA disability for that?
Yeah, so we got to talk about the hard topics sometimes, and I'm not afraid to do it, right? So we talk about erectile dysfunction, we talk about herpes, people are service connected for HIV. I'm gonna do a video on that in a couple months. I already have it on my schedule to do. So these are hard topics, especially erectile dysfunction. That is like a super common one, right? And veterans, not even veterans, soldiers. I can't tell you how many times soldiers would come in. So you active duty guys listening, like, it's not even just if you're over 40, right? I'd have guys in their 20s, 30s, whatever. They don't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing, right? But then they suffer from it, right? And it like is ruining their life, and you could get it addressed, right? So yes, and as far as herpes goes, that's a service-connected disability, right? You can get service-connected for just about it. Not everything, but just about anything. You got HIV on active duty, you can get connected.
Wow. Okay. Because I know there was a when the COVID drama was happening, there was the saying that you can get service connected for getting COVID too. And so now I'm just wondering, did they say anything? Did they say anything about the vax portion of it? Did they say, do you know anything about that, about the Ronavax, the VidVax, if that?
So the vaccine, that's a tough one. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with that one yet, but what I can tell you is that I have written 2 letters for people that so I also sometimes, I do this quite a bit actually myself. I write letters for indemnity. So for death, right? So if you die of a service-connected disability, there are certain circumstances that your surviving spouse can receive benefits for the rest of your life, right? And so in the past, probably 4 months or so, I've written 2 letters about somebody that died from COVID, right? Because their risk factors were increased by their service-connected disabilities, right? So one guy had like seizure disorder with a heart condition and all these other risk factors that were service-connected. Okay, all these disorders were service-connected. And of course he died from COVID, but the VA law, again, not a legal professional, let me disclaim that. It doesn't have to be that it's 100% because of that. It has to be that it's at least as likely as it is not, which is a 50-50, right? Especially for death, that it materially contributed to the death, okay? So the threshold is not that someone's got to be, okay, you died from your seat. No, all of these risk factors increase your mortality for COVID. And so now that dependent spouse can get some benefits, right? Gotcha. So, but the vax, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, millions of people have applied for disabilities related to anthrax vaccine. I'm not going to tell you what happened with my anthrax vaccine when me and my medics were signing those cards, but
why not? Or are you just joking? Is that a rhetorical comment? I'm just what happened?
I'm not going to tell you what happened, but no, I mean, there's vaccines are like a forever thing, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people with anthrax vaccine reactions, smallpox. You know, my sister-in-law's got a big old scar on her arm from smallpox vaccine.
Yeah, one of our staff members had to get an exemption for a vax, and she, there was a process that had to go through that. So, I don't know if that played into her claim, but I was just curious about that because that was during the COVID time and people were getting out and all that. So
that was wild.
Yeah, that's. And we were just blabbing. We haven't even blabbed about the news yet because it's the Monday edition. So we do news and stuff like that. And so we haven't even blabbed about that, about what they just talked about finally coming out of a lab or whatever. Anyways, that's another topic. But chronic fatigue syndrome and Gulf War syndrome and VA disability too. Yeah. Are we still? Is that still strong? Getting claims for the Gulf War syndrome?
Yeah. So actually, there's. So there are presumptive disabilities. So if a veteran was served in a location, or there are several presumptive types of disabilities. So Gulf War exposures are one of them. There's a whole list on VA.gov. You can go look them up. In fact, there's something called the PACT Act.
Yes.
I don't know if you know anything about the PACT Act.
Yes, I was about to ask you. Go for it.
So the PACT Act just recently was passed, right? And it expanded a whole bunch of more conditions. Like there were already service-connected disabilities. Like for example, with Agent Orange, right? And Vietnam folks, there were some, new things like hypertension was added for our Agent Orange exposed veterans through the PACT Act. But there was already a slew of other conditions, right? So this is just the PACT Act added on to several of those things, from Vietnam to Gulf War era veteran, post 9/11, whatever. And so chronic fatigue syndrome has been one that has quite frequently been, it's tough though, because veterans get confused a lot. And I say no to this one probably more than I say no to anything. Because chronic fatigue syndrome in and of itself, the syndrome, people can have chronic fatigue. I'm tired every day because,
yeah, let's say,
you know,
whatever. Especially if you're a parent, I'm always tired.
Yeah, I'm tired every day. But chronic fatigue syndrome, people claim that all the time. And in reality, the diagnostic criteria requires that you rule out other known causes of chronic fatigue, right? For it to be the syndrome, right? So if you've got sleep apnea, right? You got a thyroid disorder, all these things are more likely the cause of your fatigue, right? But I digress. But yes, a lot of people that don't have those things and they truly have chronic fatigue syndrome, that's one of those things that can be presumptively related to Gulf War exposures. You know, like asthma is another one from this burn pit stuff that's coming up. And again, these are things that like you should no one ever requires a letter for anything. But if the VA is saying like, listen, if you were exposed to burn pit and you have asthma and you did not have asthma before you went, like, we're going to grant this, right? Like, why would you need a letter for that? It's on the paper. It says like you have asthma and you were here, right? So they have this list on va.gov for all these different exposures that they've already approved. Camp Lejeune's one has a bunch of stuff. You know, there's atomic veterans. So they have a whole list for veterans that have like different exposures to, you know, nuclear, biologic, all these kind of radioactive materials.
You know, it's fascinating too. Because you got guys that worked as nuclear submarine engineers or worked on an aircraft carrier. There were nuclear reactor tenders and all that. I'm just thinking, God, I can't even imagine what some of their ailments or what they have come up. You know what I mean?
Right. Or even like mechanics. They work with jet fuel and TCE cleaner and all these like chemicals, especially back in the day.
Right. So what do you see the most lately? Since because you know the global war on terror's gone away, sort of, kind of. We're coming up in 20 years from Operation Iraqi Freedom. What do you see the largest percentage of the trends are for you? What do you see trending the most?
All day, hands down, sleep apnea. I don't know why. I know why. It's because it is a pretty high disability for that condition. Again, my process, it doesn't matter to me what the condition is or what the percentage is, because I get paid the same flat rate no matter what it is you're asking for. But for some reason, veterans everybody's got sleep apnea, but you know, it's related to weight gain too. That's the biggest thing. So most of us, when we get out, I guess we all just get fat.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. That's why you get out. You want to be a chunk, man. That's me speaking. Sometimes I don't mind waking up in the morning going, you know what? I ain't got to go to PT.
Yeah, you get that DDT-14 blanket around yourself.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Then I got a toddler that I got to chase too. But yeah, I was just curious because I know a lot of things. Do you deal a lot in the matter of behavioral health too? Do you get? Oh, yeah. You get a lot of that too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of PTSD, depression, a lot of like sexual trauma, like all these MST, military sexual trauma stuff has been like really on the forefront the past few years with a lot of the, with PTSD stuff. A lot of these people that combat PTSD, it gets tough because they want to have a verifiable stressor, right? And so that's a lot of the stuff I see get kicked back when we're looking at it. It's somebody's got denied because they didn't have a verifiable stressor. So if you were like on the fob the whole time and you didn't go out, you don't have like any like special badges or whatever, you know, they may come into question like what happened, right? But we all know like you can get IDF rounds. They're all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's always those that never seen anything or don't do the normal out of the wire stuff get immediately shocked when IDF hits your base, even if it's not hitting near you. Just the whole fear factor for them sometimes that will wipe somebody out as far as saying that they have, you know, a lot of it. I'm about to say that goes back to the thing. I bet you see some crazy shit to where somebody's like, yeah, I got PTSD. And you're like, Okay, how? I mean, is there like a how thing? You know what I mean? What did you get it for? And you don't want to disrespect a veteran by saying it's not.
Yeah.
You don't got it or you don't deserve. I mean, like you said, those stressors. Is there like some sort of checklist or something like that docs go through for that to understand it?
They go through the DSM-5, which is that's the most current iteration of that manual for mental health professionals to render a diagnosis.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it easy for us, because I don't have to be like, I don't believe you, right?
Yeah.
I would never say that anyways, but the criteria for us to even look at it is that you have to have your own provider that's already diagnosed. Like if you come to me and you want us to write PTSD, like it has to be reflected in your record already.
Yeah.
So that means it's already been vetted by somebody else that has put their license on the line and said they believe that you have PTSD. And then there's like less of a conflict of interest too, right? So I'm like, okay, this person's treating provider is well documented. They have PTSD. Now, the reason they have PTSD, it might be questionable, right? But again, if somebody's like, hey, I have PTSD because I have ringing in my ears and I got my doctor to say that I have PTSD, I'm like, well, that's not a stressor. I mean, you can have anxiety.
Well, for some, I know for some, having tinnitus and have that ring in your ears, it becomes so overwhelming. Yeah, it's almost like stubbing your toe. You get so freaking frustrated because you have to listen to more. You have to listen to something louder because you don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Well, all day, like we do those all the time. Like people that have anxiety or depression related to the tinnitus, or to their foot pain, or to their whatever they have, right? PTSD is a little bit different story, because PTSD, you got to have, typically you got to have a trauma involved, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, totally makes sense. I mean, there's some individuals saying that my drill instructor gave me PTSD. I think that's a shock to begin with anyways. Everybody gets that.
I've had that. I've had people say that. I've had, what else is there? Oh, the don't ask, don't tell thing. That's a big thing. If you think about that, that was a wild one that I've done a few of those recently. Our psychologists have, because if you think about it, back in the day when don't ask, don't tell was a thing, like you got booted out if you were homosexual. And that got put on your DD-214, separated for homosexuality.
And it was bad paper too. It was considered a bad paper discharge. Yes. Do you work those bad paper discharges? Do you assist in that stuff too with your letters?
So that's a good question. So again, like that's always those bad paper discharges it's important to have a legal professional that's helping them navigate that. But I've been conflicted because there are some types of discharges where they're not actually eligible for VA disability and they have to request an upgrade to do that.
Gotcha.
But what they can do is, even if they're not, like if they get, let's say they had a bad paper discharge, but they could still put in a report for PTSD or whatever. And even if they're not eligible for disability, they can become eligible for healthcare.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So and then our papers can also help their attorneys at times get their stuff upgraded too.
Yeah. I'm talking with some individuals to talk about that part too later in a later show, to discuss about the don't ask, don't tell, bad paper discharges and upgrading them and all, because there's still like a couple 100,000 veterans that got that it's just like, they should be retro, just like, it's just frustrating to see. And then it's almost like, okay, well now you have to process this, or we have to process. It's like there's no one point where you can go, hey, I want to turn this in. How do I upgrade my stuff? Well, you got to have this link, drop that link, do this link, upload this, and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, the worst part about that, and even this system, is that the veterans get so beat down by the bureaucracy that they just say F it, and I don't want to deal with it, right? So it's like,
and it could exacerbate an already existing problem that they have, specifically with mental health. Like I know veterans that will have an issue and will get so frustrated that they start talking those indicators of ideations or whatever, and you're like, whoa, hey, let me help you out. What's the deal? And then you got to kind of like calm them down. It's just unfortunate that you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So you were in the 82nd, right?
No, I was not. I graduated from the greatest 82nd Airborne Advanced Airborne course, Jumpmaster course. I was a PSYOP guy.
Okay.
So I went to the Jumpmaster. I supported the 82nd a lot. I got friends in the 82nd, haters in the 82nd too. So, but what's up?
I didn't mean to get off topic. I was just like thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I supported the 82nd in my time in RSOF, and then also I graduated the 82nd Jumpmaster course So to me, it was like, it was, I don't know, just my uncle was in the 82nd. My freaking, I got family members in the 82nd too. So it's just one of those. I hang around with 82nd people. That's probably why I carry like 82nd like or something like that. So,
well, it's a great place, and I was so happy to be there as a private because it set me up like for success.
Yes.
But as an adult, like I'd get fired day one if I was there.
It is a great place to start off to build your foundation for soldiering, because I guarantee it there's some soldiers, and this is not a knock on my rest of the Army brethren and brothers and sisters, but I would take a staff sergeant from the 82nd or a squad leader from the 82nd or a platoon sergeant from the 82nd than any other. Maybe the 1st Armored Division, maybe a tank platoon. But as far as what the professionalism, how to troop, how to handle, troop leading procedures, just overall bearing, 82nd, the paratrooper mentality. I mean, it's I know we got, for every time I talk about Bragg, somebody will pop in there and say, back at Bragg. But at Bragg, it's that, even the soft guys, I mean, longer hair, beards, hands in pockets, whatever, there's still a level of professionalism that's just different. That's just, you just carry yourself differently.
Well, you're not going to be able to call it Fort Bragg much longer, as we know.
Leah, why'd you have to remind me? Yes. Back at Fort Liberty,
I just saw your post not this evening about it. So
yeah, it's just like, oh, sorry, 10th Mountain. 10th Mountain's not bad. Everyone was like, oh, now there's some people that are upset now that I talked about the airborne life. Go airborne school. Don't be a leg. How about that?
No dirty legs around here.
No,
sorry.
We don't want no naps. Non-airborne personnel, because legs got upset, so we called them non-airborne personnel. Those are the individuals that shook the chutes, or or were on shoot detail. But so it just to me, like I said, it's the different mentality. Like I said, it's just a night and day difference. A troop, where you going, Sergeant, I'm going to the airborne PX. I'm gonna go blah 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, stop! I just asked where you were going, dude. I didn't need a freaking 5-paragraph in a moot law on where you were going. You're like, whoa, dude. But yeah, so not most of my time's been in Big Army 10 years, and then the rest of it was our soft. So I was jumping St. Mare or Luzon or whatever, and then
that's so then you understand, like, that transition was hard for me at first. It's like, is this for real? Like, is this for real?
The best, there's something too. I tell friends and people that I know that know me personally, Thor 3 was the best thing, and I got injuries myself that if the Army had Thor 3 Army-wide, I guarantee it that it would be it would offset the cost for veteran for VA claims, because it was just a different way of taking care of you. If you had an issue, if you were hurt, you were like, yeah, we don't care if your leg's off, go back to the DZ and put it back on and see in formation. It was different in RSOF. It was just I mean, you probably saw it too. You're like, hey, I gotta go to work. Nobody's checking up on me going to work. Nobody's checking up on me, doing what I'm doing. And there's an expectation that you do stuff. However, I mean, you have to do your job. You will get called on it.
Totally.
Yep. So real quick, Leah, thanks so much for hanging out. This is
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah. This has been fun. And of course, being your former paratrooper, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. No dirty legs on this combo. Although I love the dirty legs out there. I love y'all.
Yeah, it's most of the ones that skip leg day anyways. But Leah Bucholz from Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. As a matter of fact, you'll probably see some posts, because I'm reviewing some of the stuff here, and you'll see some of her posts on WTF Nation Radio as well, because she was kind enough to share our stuff. You got anything you want to say before we take off?
I just thank you so much for having me. And if you ever need anything, if any of you guys ever need anything, I'm always just an email away. Like, I answer emails for free anytime anybody wants to email me something. I'll try to do my best to give you a response. And I just thank you guys for listening and giving me the opportunity to be here.
There we go, Leah Bucholz. You all have go refresh your glasses, hit the head, smoke them if you got them. We'll be right back. Shots.
All right, thanks, guys.
wipe the pain from your eyes? Can you make it to the other side? Begging for anything, hoping that you find it. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. You can fight, but you can't hide that you're naked. I know they might. You leave me nothing. I know they might. You leave me nothing. And if you bleed, you won't feel it, and you won't see nothing at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. You can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. You can fight, you can hide that you're naked. I know they might. I know they might. I know they might. I know they might. I lay my life on the line. I think I'm falling behind. Don't think that I'll be chasing it. You say I walk on the truth, but I've nothing to prove. One more way that I'm making it. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. I think I found a new trap, but I don't feel so here in these shoes that I'm shaking in. I think that I wanna fight, but I got way to hide. One more step and I'm taking it. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. Violence away, don't kick me down, 'cause I'm already 6 feet underground. Violence away, don't kick me down.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit, like, constantly.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Sometimes when I look at, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, I think it's WTF Army or something.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Rocking and rolling. In the last half of the Monday edition. Thanks again, Leah, for coming out, hanging out with us. Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. Sorry for the delay. We were just talking about maybe getting some videos set up. We shared it on our platform there. So that way, you guys can get her Medical Monday Moments. Medical Monday Moments from WD Moments. There we go. Anyways, Pookie, come back. You're gonna come back and shoot the shit, Pooks, or just gonna kind of like, you know, there. Hello. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep talking then. Anywho, sorry, I just like this, the Rasta feeling. I'm gonna add Jamaica to my bucket list too. Yeah, I'm planning some stuff for the summer, man. I gotta get out, do stuff. Anyways.
Hey, this is SEAC.
Oh shit, wrong song. Right, well, wait, hang on, SEAC. Anyways, What were we talking about? What were we talking about, Pooks? Pookie, where you at? Where's my bearded comrade? Ooh, we can't say comrade because we just talked about shitting on Ivan. What are we gonna talk about this whole? Because I want Pookie to jump in here and get on the talk about what we talked about with Steven Seagal. He's been awarded some sort of friendship badge or some shit, even though he's now a friend of Putin. He's become a Russian citizen, and so now people act like I give a crap about Steven Seagal, buddy. You're just now you're now a baseball card on the list of the Ginsu Hellfire missile. So I really don't care. So where was it at? Somebody sent me something. I get freaking all this stuff right here. That apparently the Department of Energy has discovered or has revealed that something that came from a lab. Can we say that without getting zucked? I don't want to sit there and kick. We were just pretty much dropping F-bombs and everything else anyways. But the Department of Energy has come out and has talked about the Rona coming from the lab. Coming from a lab. It's confirmed that the Department of Energy has joined in the FBI in concluding that the Rona likely leaked from a lab. Hang on. Conspiracy theory. Activate tinfoil. Pookie, where you at? Pooks, come on, man. Where'd you go, bud? Anyways. All right. Well, since Pookie's not coming back in, I guess I'll talk about it. Anyways. Yeah, real quick, how that just kind of popped out, right? There has been, some drama. Individuals were being called conspiracy theorists. Individuals were called, what were they? People were getting deplatformed. People were getting deplatformed, saying that we shouldn't be saying that about China. Saying that we should be saying that about where the origins of the Rona happened. So the lab leak, most likely the origin of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we got everybody back and forth saying that this is from the National Security Council, NSC coordinator, Strategic Communications Coordinator John Kirby said that Quote, it is not a consensus in the U.S. government about the origins of COVID-19. So, I mean, yeah, without me playing other people's videos and CNN videos, I don't want CNN to get it to complain and get us talk about whatever. Somebody kind of told us that we were supposed to, like, I don't know, there was no check, this is all conspiracy theory. There's no way. So there's not a consensus right now, is what he says. Now in the U.S. government about how exactly COVID started, and it's not just an intelligence community consensus. I would add that one of two things the president was, and he is one who tasked the national labs, which report threw up the Department of Energy to study this as well. So it was not just an effort that it was confined to the intelligence community, that work is still ongoing, but the president believes that it's really important that we continue that work, that we find out as best as we know how it started, so we can, better prevent a future pandemic. I mean, that's the idea here, is to get ahead of that, so that that there is another one, then there should be signs of another one, then we can be better ahead of it. That's what John Kirby said, quote unquote. There we go. And there we go. But anyways, what do we got going on this week? Guess let me it's time for housekeeping. Shit. It's already that time. I'm gonna do some housekeeping, probably play Xbox or something like that. Hang on. Let's see what we going on here for housekeeping. All I heard was head and how to get more of it. Yeah. Really, huh? Okay. If you need some head to get some bread, yeah. I got the joke. Mike Wingert, Pop Culture Warrior, Manana. Do you guys know who Mike Wingert is? Mike Wingert is the voice of Master Po and Zing in the Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. His voice actor, of course. Taking over for the roles of Jack Black and Dan Folger, and as well, of course, of Iron Man in various Marvel productions. That's pretty cool. So, there you go. CQ, rocking that freaking Pop Culture Warrior shit. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. That's tomorrow. As a matter of fact, let me go. Pew. And push that up there. There you go. All right. So what was the next thing I was going to talk about? There we go. Look at the calendar there. Anyways, and then Wednesday is the Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ. That's what I'm talking about. And then Thursday is Sergeant's Time. This Thursday I have the lovely Ukrainian-American journalist Natalia Antonova. She's going to join me to give us an update since the year of the invasion of Ukraine from Russia. So she'll be providing insight on the ever-changing situation, of course. And she previously came on WTF Nation Radio about a year ago. And the discussion will be updates on the war since the Russian invasion 1 year ago. And she will be giving us some more insight, some other stuff that is I guess she's going to break some news. So that's going to be on Star Wars Time. And then on Friday, we have Friday Night Freedom. Kaz and Pooks. Thanks, Pooks, for hanging out for your for the show tonight. I didn't even think about the time too, so asking for you to come back would be kind of fruitful. Can I go full screen? Can you go full screen? Oh, never mind. What am I talking about? What am I doing full screen? What? Never mind full screen. You want to see me full screen? I am full screen. There you go. I'm full screen. Caredion. That sounds like a new evil character for the new Buzz Lightyear movie. Caredion. No problem. I was just going over the graphics right there for the audience, so that way the audience can see who was that's pretty much the show of the show lineup is how you see. So if you see Monday right now, that's me, because this is the Monday edition. Tuesday's Pop Culture Warrior with Michael Carrasquillo, also known as CQ, and his guest co-host rotating. The Smoke Pit's on Wednesday. Thursday, Sergeant's Time. Friday is Friday Night Freedom. And, of course, Sunday is a sports bar. Did you guys notice that we've been doing some pushing on some tech and looking at how we could do our experiences broadcasting, and the sports bar this weekend was mobile broadcasted. So once we have the mobile broadcasting tech and techniques down, then we are going to have pretty much a freaking that's the way we're gonna broadcast now. That's just the way we're gonna be on air. That's gonna be cool. So that's if we're on a con, if we're doing some we're doing like a freaking oh, did I just close myself out? Did I just zap myself out? I think I did. There you go. Here. I did zap myself out. There you go. So if you do a Comic-Con, we're doing an event, we're doing a live event, we're doing an air show or something like that, now we'll be able to do with the technology that we have to broadcast a show, whatever it be on, whatever. So again, that was with King Smith and the coach. CQ was a stand-in for yesterday. So again, Sunday is the sports bar. Monday is the Monday edition with me and Shipwreck. Shipwreck had an previous engagement, so Pookie stepped in. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and his rotating guest. Wednesday is TZ and Radar for the Smoke Pit. Sergeant's Time is myself, and I'm still looking for that freaking 46 something, whatever the PAO broadcaster, active duty or reserve individual who wants to join me. That offer is open for rotation. I'm speaking to another unit about it, so we'll see what happens. And then what else? Then we got Friday Night Freedom with Cos and Pookie. So there you go. Shows start at 8. A guest comes on at 9 Eastern. And what is the purpose of these NCOESs if they're not teaching soldiers nothing, right? Telling you, man, I hear you. When was the last time a soldier knew how to do a hand receipt, or how to do a layout, or understand how to give a class? I mean, that's some NCOESs, man, at all levels too. I hear you, Pat. I hear you. That's what Sergeant's Time is about, though. We can shoot the breeze about that stuff. So again, share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on how many freaking platforms? We got 5 live platforms. We're broadcasting on Twitter. We're broadcasting on 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. We're also broadcasting on YouTube at WTF Nation Radio and Twitch. Broadcasting on Twitch. So with that, if you guys don't have anything for me, man, I'm going to punch out. I'm gonna maybe play some Xbox or something like that. Do some later. What time is it right now? Yeah. Play some Xbox with little ones. Or maybe, goad some of my friends to come on there and we can shoot the shit. And season 2, what was it? Season Pass 2 is downloaded. Man, that's like a freaking 21 gig freaking upload. So I know it's like talking game stuff, but anyways, y'all have a good night. And, thanks again, Leah, for hanging out from Prestige Veteran Medical Consulting. And with that, thank you all for hanging out and shots. See you. Night.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. So U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the
You get to see somebody who's never been around a
Я батько. Я молодший брат.
Я водій маршрутки. Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат шахтера.
Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист.
Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Борщица.
Дядя Юра, таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма. Я кращий друг зі школи.
Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.